Hello, it's Truck Dispatcher Training Company. Today I'm going to talk about 3 options to become an owner-operator and also its advantages and disadvantages. Number 1 is traditional financing, number 2 is leasing on a truck, and number 3 is buying a truck. So let's speak about the difference between leasing, buying, and financing the truck. Which option is better is up to you. You should be ready that every option needs at least 2 years, because you need to learn the rules and give yourself time to understand the industry. Financing is a traditional way of becoming an owner-operator. A driver just goes to the dealership and buys the truck. After that, a driver puts a down payment and finances over 4 years. It can be less or more, with interest on top. The advantage of this option of becoming an owner-operator is you aren't tied to a single carrier. If things don't get out with the carrier, just can find another one. There isn't usually a big buyout at the end when you are working directly with the financial institution. And one more advantage is with a finance company, you can make a double payment. It means that you can pay your loan early. But there are also disadvantages. For example, you need to obtain good credit to be able to finance your truck, and even after that, you might need more money. In most ways, finance companies want a higher down payment on used trucks. You also can miss your payment. If you do it for some reason, it will affect your credit history, and at worst, finance companies will come after your assets, like your car, your home, everything. So you should be careful and don't forget to make sure that the finance terms are suitable for your situation. Now let's speak about leasing. This way usually has a bad reputation. Many drivers think that it is like a bad credit and people who lease with carriers don't finish their lease and never get to own the truck. This, however, isn't always true, because there are also many good and successful stories. If you were to choose this way, the advantage will be the fact that if you go through the carriers, they really usually don't care about your credit history, because you will work for their company and that is to guarantee your payments. And they are also more flexible on the down payment. Second advantage, companies that have a lease usually have their own shops, so you can get cheaper shop rates from the carrier. But you should talk about shop rates before you sign your lease program. Another huge advantage is less waiting time. It is really less than financing, and it is a good option for drivers who need extra money to pay off debts. The disadvantages are restrictions. You are most likely tied to one carrier, and you can change companies, and some carriers have rip-off terms. You should read about this before you sign. Your buyout amount, total cost, interest rate, benefits, and lease term, you must know all of it. Next disadvantage is that many truckers receive less miles than they promise. I mean that your mileage isn't in your hand. And let's speak about purchasing outright. It is the best way if you are able to afford it. I say about money. You won't have any problems with credit history or with carriers. If you have any problems with your carrier, you can just leave and find a new one. Finally, I want to tell you some recommendations. If you're able to pay a truck outright, do it. If you have a good credit or good down payment, I also don't recommend the lease program. Because it isn't comfortable when you are tied to one carrier. Explore dealers, their finance interest rates, or research the carrier before leasing. You also can ask other local drivers about their experience and read some trucking forums dedicated to carrier reviews. That's all for today. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to put a like to this video. Bye.